Welcome along to your Easter weekend weather update from the Met Office. A 4-day weekend in April. It's always going to be hard to summarise, but we do have a storm moving in. That's only a small part of the story, however, because it won't be affecting everywhere, and many places will have some fine weather at some point during the long weekend. So let's break it down. We will start by talking about Storm Dave, because it is the most significant part of the weather through the weekend. One area of low pressure clearing away to the north on Good Friday, but it's down here where Storm Dave is brewing and interacting with the jet stream, that fast-moving ribbon of air that really picks up this storm system and spins it up. A couple of times it intensifies, initially as it approaches the west of the Republic of Ireland, and then again, perhaps as it moves towards the western side of Scotland. If you want more details on how that storm develops, well, there's a full video explaining what we're expecting from Storm Dave on our YouTube channel. But for the purposes of the weekend forecast, we're really focusing on those isobars packed together across northern Britain during Saturday afternoon and through Saturday night, potentially bringing some damaging gusts of wind. More on Dave and the warnings in a second, but it's a 4-day weekend. We've got to get through Good Friday first of all, so let's rewind the clock to then. Quite a cloudy start to the long weekend and quite a damp start as well. Still quite gusty and blustery as well to start off with. Staying quite breezy throughout the day, but it should get a bit brighter, certainly across the south. Well, we should tend to lose much of the rain and drizzle, so something a bit drier here, but likely to stay quite cloudy. A wetter zone over northern England and North Wales will push south through the day. That could have some heavy bursts of rain in, but perhaps cheering up later over northern England. Some sunny spells for Scotland and Northern Ireland, but also a whole host of showers packing in on that fairly stiff wind. Those showers may well have the odd rumble of thunder mixed in, maybe some hail too, certainly at lower levels across western Scotland, and yes, some snow over the higher ground here because the air is colder, 8 or 9 Celsius, whereas further south, if it brightens up, we could easily get to 14, 15, maybe 16 Celsius, so feeling pleasant enough here. Temperatures will drop on Friday night, a cold start to Saturday, particularly over the north of England and Scotland with a touch of frost. There'll be some outbreaks of rain creeping through Wales, northern England during the morning, pushing their way northwards. This is the start of Storm Dave, likely to bring some heavy rain late in the day for Northern Ireland and pushing into western Scotland, and yes, that is snow initially over the tops of the hills, but it will come down to lower levels, particularly as we go through Saturday evening and overnight. Now, bar the odd shower in the west, a good part of England and Wales looking dry through Saturday afternoon, and it may well brighten up, so you may well be wondering what all the fuss is about here around Storm Dave. Just a bit of a breezy day, but quite mild, quite pleasant really. Temperatures up to, again, 50, maybe a couple of degrees higher in 1 or 2 spots, but still got the colder air in place across Scotland, and certainly feeling colder with these gusty winds really whipping up along the west coast of Wales and then through the Irish Sea during the course of the afternoon. And then they strengthen further. That's when the low intensifies again, probably crossing to the north of Scotland. Those isobars really packing together again, so there's gusty winds likely to continue for much of the night across Scotland, and along with that there will also be some snow falling too. So let's just rewind the clock and take you through the warnings as they stand. We've got a number of wind warnings in place for Northern Ireland, Northern England, Southern Scotland and the north of Wales. Gusts of 60 miles an hour, maybe a little more around coast, likely to cause some travel disruption, potentially some power issues as well. Those kind of winds may bring down some tree branches, perhaps cause structural damage. And then a greater risk of stronger winds across this broader area through Scotland, 70 miles an hour, perhaps in places 80 or even slightly more than that miles an hour. Those kind of gusts are likely to cause some flying debris. We'll also have some very large waves tied into that, which could cause some issues. And then there's the snowfall falling over parts of north and west Scotland in this zone. Blizzards over the higher ground, some pretty miserable travelling conditions here with that wet and windy weather through Saturday evening. During the early hours, the storm system tries to pull away, but then we could have another swathe of strong winds coming in across northern Scotland. As I said, particularly around the coast, those gusts of winds may exceed 80 miles an hour for a time and cause some further disruption. The storm system tries to pull away from Shetland during Saturday, still bringing some rain here for a time. Overall, a calmer day, and actually, apart from the odd shower, good part of England and Wales will see some lengthy, dry and bright spells on Sunday. The winds will ease down. Bright and blustery for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Showers coming in here, some of them still falling as snow over relatively modest hills. Temperature-wise, well, we're going to struggle a bit on Easter Day. Many places may not get much above 9 or 10 degrees Celsius and feeling cooler with the wind, but in the south we might just about sneak into the teens. But a fresh feeling day certainly on Sunday, and then Monday, a chilly start with a frost across much of northern Britain. But by and large, Bank Holiday Monday at this stage looking pretty good. The breeze will pick up around the coast in the southwest and Northern Ireland, western Scotland, but elsewhere, I say the wind's relatively light, dry, bright, some good spells of sunshine coming through, and with that wind wafting up from the south, yes, it may start chilly, but I suspect by the afternoon it'll feel fairly pleasant, with temperatures more widely into the teens, maybe again into the mid-teens across parts of the south. So there is some fine weather to be had this weekend, particularly so across the south. Do keep your eyes peeled, though, for further updates on those weather warnings around Storm Dave arriving on Saturday afternoon and through Saturday night. Best way to stay up to date, of course, is to subscribe to our YouTube channel.